To create a traditional kimono, the Japanese need thousands of silkworms, dozens of yards of silk fabric, and months of meticulous work from skilled artisans. Just a single misplaced silk thread can cause an entire piece of fabric to be discarded. It is exactly this strictness that has built the everlasting reputation of Japanese silk all around the world. Behind that shimmering softness is not just the fragile silk spun from silkworm cocoons, but also the essence of patience, craftsmanship, and a spirit of perfectionism that has become the very core of Japanese culture. To weave a single kimono, thousands of silkworms must tirelessly spin their delicate white cocoons, while hundreds of artisan hands devote their passion and precision to every single detail. Each thread and every stitch carries within it a story, a philosophy of life about the harmony between human beings and nature. Japanese silk is not simply a material for clothing. It is a symbol of refinement, endurance, and the pride of an entire nation. People often say that if you want to truly feel the spirit of Japan, just touch a piece of traditional silk, because within every line and pattern lies centuries of history, culture, and a way of life expressed through art. In today's video, we will step into this magical journey together. From the lush mulberry gardens where tiny silkworms are nurtured, to the weaving workshops where those fragile threads are stretched and transformed into shimmering fabric under the light. This is not only the story of a traditional craft, but also a testament to the perseverance and perfectionism of the Japanese people, those who always know how to turn the ordinary into a masterpiece. The craft of sericulture and silk weaving in Japan has a long history that traces back to around the 5th century AD. According to historical records, the techniques of raising silkworms and weaving silk were originally introduced from China, then spread to the Korean peninsula, before eventually reaching Japan. The Japanese at that time quickly adopted these methods, while also adapting and transforming them to suit the unique climate and soil conditions of their own country. By the Nara period, from the year 710 to 794, silk had moved beyond local village production and became an important industry within the imperial court. Inside palaces and temples, silk was used to make garments for the nobility, the royal family, and Buddhist monks. At this stage, silk was not merely a material for clothing, it was a symbol of power and social status. The soft and shimmering silk fabrics clearly displayed the wealth and sophistication of the Japanese court of that era. During the Heian and Kamakura periods, silk production continued to develop, but it was not until the Edo period, from the year 1603 to 1868, that the industry truly flourished. The Tokugawa shogunate implemented many policies to encourage rural production, and silk became one of the key industries. In many farming communities, sericulture was not just an economic activity, but also the primary livelihood for households. Numerous silk-weaving villages emerged, helping Japan rise as a well-known silk-producing nation within the region. Among these, 3 provinces, Gunma, Nagano, and Yamanashi, stood out as leading centers of silk production. In particular, the Tomioka area in Gunma later became famous for the Tomioka Silk Mill, an iconic industrial facility where Western machinery was combined with traditional Japanese techniques, contributing to the modernization of Japan's silk industry in the 19th century. Japanese silk was not only produced for domestic needs, but also reached the international stage. During the height of international trade, Japanese silk became one of the country's most strategic export commodities. Through the maritime Silk Road, rolls of Japanese silk were shipped to China, Korea, Southeast Asia, and even further to European ports. This commercial flow helped spread Japan's image and culture abroad, leaving a mark on the global economy of that time. From a technique that was once imported, the Japanese transformed sericulture and silk weaving into a unique cultural identity, deeply tied to both the economy and the way of life of the nation for centuries. This history not only demonstrates their ability to adopt and improve foreign techniques, but also reflects the creativity, perseverance, and perfectionism of the Japanese people, the very qualities that built the lasting reputation of Japanese silk today. The most widely raised silkworm breed in Japan is Bombyx mori. This is a domesticated species that has been cultivated for thousands of years, feeding exclusively on mulberry leaves, and it is famous for producing silk threads that are glossy, strong, and highly uniform. Thanks to these qualities, Bombyx mori has become the primary silkworm, forming the foundation of the entire silk industry. To secure a stable food source for the silkworms, farmers must begin by preparing mulberry fields. The soil must be well plowed, loose, and rich in nutrients. A cool and humid climate provides the ideal conditions for mulberry growth. The trees are pruned regularly to encourage fresh, tender leaves, because only young leaves can guarantee the right nutritional quality for the silkworms. In regions with a long tradition of mulberry cultivation, farmers have accumulated valuable knowledge in planting, fertilizing, and adjusting crop cycles to ensure a continuous supply of leaves throughout the silkworm rearing season. The growth of silkworms passes through 4 main stages. The first is the egg stage. Silkworm eggs are carefully selected, usually taken from strong, healthy adult moths with little to no disease. The eggs are kept in a cool, humid environment to ensure they hatch at the same time. Once they hatch, thousands of tiny silkworm larvae emerge, beginning their journey of feeding and growth. The second stage is the larval stage. This is the most important stage and lasts about 25 to 30 days. During this time, silkworms have only one purpose: to eat mulberry leaves. They eat constantly, day and night, and grow at an incredible speed. In just a few weeks, the tiny larvae, no bigger than a thread, develop into large, strong caterpillars ready to spin their cocoons. As they grow, silkworms molt 4 times. After each molt, their bodies become larger, and their appetite for mulberry leaves increases significantly. This is the stage when farmers must monitor them closely. The leaves must be provided regularly, at the right time, and cut into suitable sizes depending on the age of the silkworms. If the leaves are scarce or of poor quality, the silkworms will weaken, become susceptible to disease, and the silk threads they produce will not meet the required standard. When the silkworms are ready to move to the pupal stage, they stop eating and begin searching for a proper place to spin their cocoons. At this point, farmers prepare special wooden or bamboo racks, called maikake, for the silkworms to climb onto and release silk. Over the course of 3 to 4 days, each silkworm spins thousands of feet of silk, wrapping it around its body to form a white or pale yellow cocoon. These cocoons are the most precious raw material for the silk weaving industry. If silkworms are allowed to grow into moths, they will chew through the cocoon to emerge, which breaks the long, continuous silk strand. That is why in silk production, most cocoons are harvested before the moths hatch, preserving the integrity of the silk thread. To ensure high-quality cocoons, farmers must maintain a stable environment. The ideal temperature is between 73 and 82 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 23 to 28 degrees Celsius, and the humidity should remain around 70 to 80%. If it is too hot or too humid, the silkworms easily fall ill. If it is too cold, they grow slowly. The rearing house must also be clean, well ventilated, and free from mold and harmful bacteria. Feeding times must be precise and consistent, because even missing a single feeding can weaken the silkworms and lower the quality of the cocoons. Silkworm rearing is a meticulous task that requires patience and experience. Farmers must constantly observe every small change in the silkworms, from the color of their skin, their feeding behavior, to each molting process. Only through such careful attention can they ensure that the silkworms grow evenly, remain healthy, and produce high-quality cocoons. And it is from these pure white cocoons that the journey begins for one of the most exquisite fabrics in the world. As silkworms go through their final molts, they enter the most important stage of their life cycle, the spinning of the cocoon. This is the miraculous transformation that turns a small silkworm into the source of precious silk threads. Inside the body of the silkworm are two silk glands running along each side, both filled with a liquid substance called fibroin, the main component of silk. When the silkworm begins to spin, the fibroin is secreted through a duct known as the spinneret, where it meets the air and hardens into fine threads. Along with fibroin, another substance called sericin is also released. Acting as a natural adhesive, sericin binds the silk filaments together to form a strong protective shell around the body. A single silkworm can spin one continuous thread that measures between 3,000 and nearly 5,000 feet long, which is about 1,000 to 1,500 meters. This thread is many times thinner than a human hair, yet it possesses remarkable strength and elasticity. Throughout the cocooning process, the silkworm does not eat or move. Instead, it tirelessly swings its head in a figure-8 motion, ensuring the silk is evenly wound around its body. All the energy it has stored up is devoted entirely to making the cocoon, making this stage a true final effort in its life. The spinning of a cocoon usually lasts for 2 to 3 consecutive days. At first, the silk forms a loose, gauzy web around the silkworm. Gradually, the layers become denser and tighter until the worm is fully enclosed within a sealed cocoon. Inside this cocoon, the silkworm slowly transforms into a pupa, preparing for the adult stage of its life. The quality of a cocoon depends on several factors: the health of the silkworm, the conditions in which it was raised, as well as humidity and temperature. A good cocoon is round, even in shape, white or pale yellow in color, and has a smooth, unbroken surface without tears or holes. Such cocoons yield long, continuous silk threads that are ideal for the reeling process. On the other hand, if the silkworm is weak, spins unevenly, or if the moth emerges by breaking through, the thread becomes fragmented, significantly reducing its value. What is truly remarkable is that while each cocoon is the humble work of a single tiny creature, when tens of thousands of cocoons are gathered together, they provide a massive resource, enough to weave shimmering sheets of silk. From a scientific perspective, it is the tireless labor of a small insect. But from a human perspective, It is nothing short of a natural miracle, life itself creating one of the most luxurious and refined materials in the world. It is thanks to this cocoon spinning stage that mulberry growing and silkworm rearing became the indispensable foundation of Japan's silk industry. Each delicate thread, each pure white cocoon carries within it silent labor, opening the journey from nature to art, from the life of a silkworm to the pride of humanity. After about 10 to 14 days from the time the silkworms spin their cocoons, the cocoons reach the necessary maturity for harvesting. The farmers then begin collecting them, each tiny cocoon holding significant economic value. This work requires careful handling because cocoons can be easily crushed or damaged if not treated properly. Immediately after harvesting, the sorting process takes place. This is a crucial step that determines the quality of the final silk thread. Cocoons that are firm, evenly shaped, smooth in texture, round and shiny are selected for the reeling process. In contrast, misshapen, pierced, or substandard cocoons are set aside for other uses, such as being processed into protein powder for the pharmaceutical or cosmetic industries, or even used as supplementary animal feed. Not a single cocoon is wasted. Each has its own unique value. Before reeling, good cocoons must undergo treatment to soften the sericin layer. Sericin is the natural glue secreted by the silkworm during spinning, binding the silk fibers together into a tightly structured shell. While it serves as a protective coating, it also makes the silk difficult to reel if not properly treated. To preserve the cocoons and prevent microbial growth, farmers first dry them carefully. Once dried, the cocoons move to the soaking stage. Typically, they are immersed in hot water at a temperature between 158 and 194 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 70 to 90 degrees Celsius. This temperature is just enough to dissolve and loosen the sericin without damaging the delicate silk fibers inside. Some modern facilities use special solutions containing enzymes or mild alkaline substances to accelerate the softening of sericin while preserving the strength and natural luster of the silk. Throughout this stage, both time and temperature must be strictly controlled. If the cocoons are soaked too long, the silk threads become weakened and are prone to breaking during reeling. On the other hand, if they are not soaked long enough, the sericin does not dissolve completely, leaving the threads stuck together and making the reeling process difficult. For this reason, experienced silk reelers closely observe the color and softness of the cocoons to determine the perfect moment when they are ready. Once the treatment is complete, these tiny, fragile-looking cocoons are ready for the next journey. From their tightly wound shells, they will be transformed into shimmering silk threads, stretching hundreds of meters long, destined to become the precious raw material of Japan's traditional silk weaving craft. Once the cocoons have been softened to remove the sericin, they move on to the most important stage, silk reeling. This is the very heart of silk making, the stage that determines the quality and value of every single yard of fabric. Each cocoon is placed into hot water, and the first delicate strands begin to loosen from the surface, so fine that they are only about 1/10 the thickness of a human hair. The artisan skillfully finds the end of the thread and guides it onto the reeling wheel. The reel then spins steadily, pulling out strand after strand, joining them together into a continuous filament that can stretch for hundreds of yards. To form a silk thread with the right thickness and strength, not just one filament is used. Typically, 6 to 10 of these fine strands are combined. This process not only strengthens the thread, but also preserves the natural shine and luster that only silk can offer. It is a crucial technique because if the strands are not combined evenly, the thread will be uneven, thick in some parts, thin in others, ruining the quality of the finished silk. Once the filaments are combined, they go through a process of twisting and spinning. The subtle movements of the reel gently twist the silk, securing the strands together while keeping them smooth. The artisan must watch carefully, constantly adjusting the pulling tension and reel speed to prevent the threads from snapping or tangling. Afterward, the silk is wound onto wooden reels or spools, each layer carefully coiled in order. This step not only prepares the silk for weaving, but also helps preserve it, keeping the threads neat and untangled during transport and storage. Each glowing spool of silk shimmers under the light, looking like a flowing stream of delicate, resilient silk. In Japan, where tradition and modernity coexist, the reeling process maintains a subtle balance. Modern machinery takes on the heavy labor, ensuring high efficiency and precise consistency. Yet the human touch remains vital in monitoring, adjusting, and preserving the spirit of the craft. Silk reeling and spinning are not just technical processes. They are the harmonious blending of nature's delicacy and human ingenuity, giving birth to one of the most precious materials in the textile world. After the silk threads have been evenly spun and polished to a natural sheen, they enter a new stage, the weaving of silk fabric. Before being placed on the loom, the threads are usually dyed with either natural or synthetic pigments, depending on their intended use. The colors must be absorbed evenly, retain their luster, and remain unfading over time. In Japan, the art of silk weaving has developed into many distinct schools, the most renowned of which is the Nishijin Ori technique from Kyoto. This is not merely a weaving method, but a true art form, where every strand and every motif carries cultural significance. What makes Nishijin Ori unique is that it does not simply produce plain fabric. Instead, it interlaces dyed silk threads with gold and silver threads, creating intricate, multi-dimensional patterns. Thanks to this craftsmanship, high-quality Japanese kimono became symbols of elegance and prestige, admired around the world. The weaving of a Nishijin Ori fabric can take several weeks, or even a few months, depending on the complexity of the design. The artisan must combine precise hand movements with artistic creativity. Each strike of the loom is like a rhythm, each thread like a brushstroke, and together they form a living painting woven in silk. Every piece of Japanese silk is not just material for clothing, but a crystallization of history, culture, and refined aesthetics, treasures carefully handed down from one generation to the next. Behind the shimmering softness of Japanese silk lies an entire miraculous journey. From the lush green mulberry leaf to the tiny silkworm to the skillful hands of artisans. Each silk thread is not merely a material, but a symbol of patience, meticulous care, and enduring creativity. It is this very spirit that has allowed Japanese silk to endure for centuries, becoming a source of pride not only for Japan, but also a treasure cherished around the world. We hope that after watching this video, you now have a deeper appreciation for the true value of silk, a meeting point of nature, labor, and art. If you found this journey meaningful, please share your thoughts in the comments below. Your feedback is the motivation for us to continue bringing you more fascinating stories. In our upcoming videos, we will continue to uncover many more secrets of traditional crafts and cultural treasures from around the globe. So, do not forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on the notification bell so you will not miss any of our exciting journeys. Thank you for being with us today, and we look forward to seeing you again in the next video.